free of problems here in Germany. We lost members too here in my sector. We lost about 20,000 the last 5 years. It has to do with job cutting in German telecom. We try now to get in new companies from the IT sector, and we have the first footprints in a lot of IT sector companies, and it works. People in Germany understand more and more how necessary it is to join the union, and we give them with such a negotiation result an idea what can happen when we are a lot of people in the union. We have about in German telecom between 60 and 70% of employees there are members of the union. It makes us strong, and they cannot hit us. That's good for us, and today we agreed for the next negotiation. We start in January next year, and we will prepare it perhaps up to July this year. We will start this campaign for the next year. We get more members in this. During these days we get 1,530 new members. That's very great for us, and some people today told us there come more. It's good for us.
Great.
We have a little bit not assistance as in the United States.
You know, you negotiate this contract for 100,000 people.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when we get we do sort of the same thing, and then you bring it to the members, and then the ratification process. How do you guys do your ratification? You have.
It's a little bit loud. Sorry, I haven't understood exactly.
Frage, wie wird sozusagen dieser Tarifvertrag angenommen? Also in den USA wird das Ratifizierung des Vertrags genannt, also wie wird der Vertrag ratifiziert?
At the end of the process, I have to sign it, and a colleague of mine, there must be 2 signs under the contract, and management sign it too. And during the process, we speak with a lot of people. At first, we speak with the negotiations committee. Cornelia is a member of this negotiation committee. Then there's a second step. We call it Große Tarifkommission. It's about 50 people we decide, which have to make the decision for the whole sector, and they give an advice to all the people here. We discuss with the people, and then we come back to this Große Tarifkommission, and then we have the last agreement or the last decision about this, and then I have to sign. We discuss with the people. Okay? Good.
So why are the contracts every 2 years? Because it seems like it doesn't create much security. It seems like you're perpetually negotiating.
To have it every second year is not normal. Normal is to have it every year. Our idea is to have a contract every year. It has to do with
Inflation rate.
With the inflation rate. The German government gives us a sign of the inflation rate every year, and that's the point up to which we can discuss the next salary.
Do you have cost of living adjustments?
Cost of living, yeah, sure. Now we have it raises about 2.1%, and we discuss it with.
Because on other contracts I've been on, they're usually 3-year contracts, but we have cost of living adjustments worked into there. However, the government the last couple of years has said, well, there's been no cost of living increase, and so we didn't get our cost of living increase, so that was unfortunate. But James and I were kind of talking about this too. It does seem like it's in a you guys are in a perpetual state of negotiations constantly.
Yeah, because one of the things that was talked about at the conference the other day was creating security.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't seem like there's much security when you're always negotiating.
Er hat das Gefühl, dass wenn man ständig in Tarifverhandlungen findet, dass es dadurch weniger Sicherheit gibt.
No, we give more security.
I think so too.
We do not have negotiations about the salary. We have negotiations about the job security. We have negotiations about the working time, all the things. Over the year, I have to report our work to our members in our election conference in 2 weeks. And in 2 weeks I have to report that we have the last 4 years 210 negotiations about salary, working time, anything else in a lot of companies. And our idea is to give people a sign of union. It's good to have negotiations every year. It gets us more members. It makes clear that here is the union and we do something for the people. That's our idea.
Get more bites
work
of the apple.
with the people.
But you are able also to react faster, things are changing now.
But it makes us a lot of work.
Yeah, I suppose I'm about to say, doesn't that, when you're preparing constantly for negotiations, and maybe this is just what I'm used to versus what you're used to, that's a lot of work. And because the opposite side of that is you're constantly preparing for possible strikes as well, too.
Sure.
And I think that's where James was coming from.
That's a good thing.
Constantly preparing for strike.
It makes your members become very active.
Yeah, and I can see it too, because you're kind of feet to the fire.
I can only imagine,
Keeps
because
everybody
having
awake.
prepared for strikes many
Imagine
times.
if we was in the union, if we were unionized, negotiate. We went from, what, $2.87 a gallon to
But-
$5 and something a gallon?
We
There's
do,
been
we do not
inflation.
prepare
Something
the
happened in the
strikes
world
for
caused
the
that.
strikes
It'd be nice to be able to
themselves.
renegotiate
We have a
as far as
word in
inflation
Germany. We
rate.
say
People on their toes.
to avoid a conflict, no, you have to prepare a conflict to avoid the conflict.
Right.
And we prepare it every year. We try to bring our members in the situation that they stand on the street, they stand for the union, and this is nice to give them a good feeling for the union, and we can negotiate in a very better way. We do, as we are not in this situation.
Right. And our experience in the United States is sometimes when we bargain very long, like 5-year agreements, the positive of the 5-year agreement is it does offer some kind of security. You know what raise you're going to get in the next 5 years.
Yeah, sure.
The bad part of that is at the end of 5 years, our members have forgotten how to mobilize.
Yeah.
Right? And so when we have short contracts, there's a lot of memory. Right? And it's like a muscle that you use more and more. The muscle gets stronger and stronger. When we come off of strikes, not that we strike much anymore, but when we come off of strikes, is our membership is the most involved before, during, and after the strike. Our members are much more involved, much more engaged with the union, and we're stronger as a result. So mobilizing really